Okay, another story that I enjoyed reading in your book, the story of your cousin, David Wilkerson, and watching the story of 7 men who'd been accused of a crime and deciding that I am going to get to those men and tell them about Jesus, which turned into a huge story. Share.
Well, David, some don't know who that is. David Wilkerson is the founder of Teen Challenge, which is probably the largest, most well-known drug rehab program in the world today. They're all over the world. And David first came to my life when I was about 8 years old, and I'm not 8 anymore. But David was a pastor in a little town outside of Pittsburgh and had an addiction to television. And one night God convicted him, and he got on his knees and repented and got rid of television. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying he had an issue, okay? And shortly after that, he was home after church one night and saw the Life magazine. That's how long ago this was. And of these 7 young men that were on trial in New York City for murdering this, you know, and God said, go to New York and stand up for him. So he goes to New York and he breaks into the courtroom and he has a Bible, goes on the front page of the New York Times. I've got it in my office, a picture of it. So that started a love in New York City among the gang members. That's spread through New York City, the 5 boroughs, and especially the gangsters and gang members. And David then stayed in his car for about a week, told his wife he wasn't coming home for a week, stayed in his car, started going into some tough areas in Brooklyn, and all the gangsters knew him, these gang members. And so David started this ministry of Teen Challenge with young people that were on drugs. And one day he was preaching on the streets with a flag, and a guy named Nicky Cruz, who was the leader of the Mau Mau gang, the toughest gang in Brooklyn, came and put a knife, switchblade to his throat and said, I'm going to cut you into 1,000 pieces. And David looked at him and said, you can cut me to 1,000 pieces, and every piece will scream, I love you, Nicky. And that broke Nicky Cruz, and Nicky got saved, and the rest is history. But so many got saved through that event and other events that it began to sweep the country. David ended up building the Times Square Church in New York City, in one of the most historic theaters in New York City. And his ministry, way after his life on earth, has just continued to expand. But it's because of the fact that he went to what society would call the lowest of the low and honored them as if they were equal human beings. That's where this all comes from. Nobody is unimportant in God's economy, Maggie. That's what honor's all about.
Yeah. And I love that every ministry had to start with someone with a passion and a vision to see people for who they are. Oh, that's good. I enjoy sitting down with Rich and hearing these stories. I hope that you are also enjoying this. If you want to hear more and learn how you can live a life of honor, watch this.